In the complex world of modern business, the choices we make can shape our entire careers. But how do we know if we're making the right decisions? And more importantly, how do we judge the quality of our choices? Today we'll explore 3 stories that challenge our understanding of decision-making, inspired by Annie Duke's insightful book, How to Decide. Meet Joe, a successful manager at a large corporation. He's faced with a life-changing decision: stay in his comfortable position or join a promising startup. The startup offers excitement, more responsibility, and the potential for significant financial gains. It seems perfect on paper. Joe takes the leap, energized by the possibilities. But 6 months later, the startup struggles and Joe finds himself unemployed. In hindsight, Joe feels he should have seen the signs. The business plan was shaky, the market more competitive than he realized. But could he really have known? This is where Joe, like many of us, falls into the trap of judging the quality of his decisions solely by the outcome. As Annie Duke points out in How to Decide, good decisions can lead to bad outcomes, and bad decisions can sometimes yield good results. The world is inherently uncertain. The key takeaway: focus on the decision-making process, not just the outcome. Did Joe gather enough information? Did he consider the risks? That's what truly matters. Now let's turn to Amanda, whose story offers a different perspective on decision-making. Amanda, a hobby investor, just hit the jackpot with a tech stock. She invested after hearing a glowing review from a well-known financial expert. The stock skyrocketed and Amanda made a hefty profit. Her friends praised her brilliance. But was it truly brilliance? When Amanda reflected on her decision, she realized it was based purely on someone else's opinion. She hadn't done her own research. This scenario highlights what Annie Duke calls the overconfidence bias, the tendency to attribute success to our skills when, in fact, it was often luck. Amanda was basking in what the book describes as dumb luck, mistaking a fortunate outcome for smart decision-making. It wasn't her expertise that earned her the win, it was unpredictable market forces. The lesson here: don't get carried away by good outcomes. Success can lead to complacency, and complacency leads to future mistakes. Question your victories just as much as your failures. Our final story revolves around Tom, a data analyst known for his ability to predict trends. He's preparing for a crucial presentation that will determine whether his company launches a new product line. After weeks of research, all the numbers seem to point in one direction: success. Confident in his analysis, Tom pushes for the launch, and the company follows his recommendation. But 6 months later, sales are abysmal. Tom is left wondering how it all went so wrong. In retrospect, it seems obvious. The market wasn't ready, the economy was slowing, consumer interests were shifting. This is a classic case of hindsight bias, as described in How to Decide. It's the belief that an outcome was predictable all along, when in reality we were just as uncertain as anyone else at the time of decision. Tom's mistake wasn't in missing these signs. No one could have seen them clearly in the moment. His error was in how harshly he judged himself afterward, clouding his ability to learn from the experience. The lesson here is to recognize that we can't predict the future perfectly. Instead, we should focus on improving our methods of dealing with uncertainty and refining our decision-making processes. These 3 stories, Joe's failed job change, Amanda's lucky stock pick, and Tom's misstep in forecasting, highlight a core message from How to Decide. Decision-making is less about controlling outcomes and more about managing the process. The reality is, control is an illusion. We can't guarantee what will happen, but we can ensure we're using the best possible tools to guide our choices. By understanding biases like resulting, overconfidence, and hindsight, we can make more balanced, thoughtful decisions in our professional and personal lives. Remember, a good decision-making process doesn't guarantee success, but it does increase the odds. And in the world of decisions, that's as close to control as we can get.